For this warm-up activity, I would like you to take a piece of paper and redraw this landscape so that it is balanced. Clearly, this landscape is not balanced because balance is an equal distribution of visual weight. So redraw the landscape, move things around to create a balanced landscape that has the same objects in it. Your landscape will show asymmetry or asymmetrical balanced, where it's balanced but it does not have the same thing on both sides. Project 1 is a symmetrical balanced name. You're going to start by taking a piece of paper, folding it in half the long way or landscape way. Make sure your fold is at the bottom. With your fold at the bottom, you're going to write your name. If you can write your name in cursive, that's great. If not, that is fine. Just connect each of the letters and it will still work. Once you write your name, you're going to go around the top and the bottom of it to create a thicker letter. We need our letter to be a shape and not a line. So I'm going to go around each letter carefully. I'm just using a big marker so you can see it on the camera. You want to use something pretty thin that won't bleed through the paper. Once you've finished going around your name, the next step is pretty simple. You're going to cut along the top and bottom line that you just made. Notice and remember, I am moving my paper and my scissors at the same time. If I have pieces that get in the way, I can cut them off. I can sloppy cut and then go back around more neatly. But at 4th grade, we should be using our scissors like a pencil. We're drawing with our scissors. We're taking our time. Do not cut on the fold. Make sure that you're cutting only where you put that top and bottom line. And when you open it up, you have a symmetrical name, which you'll glue into your sketchbook. For this project, we're going to explore radial balance. Radial balance is when we split our paper in 4, and each quarter is the same coming from the center. We're going to start with a rectangular piece of paper. You can take that out of your sketchbook or use another piece of paper. We're going to fold it from the bottom to the top to create a triangle on that bottom half. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then we're going to cut off the extra piece. By doing that, we're going to turn our rectangle into a square. We're going to fold our square vertically, and then we're also going to fold it horizontally. And we're going to fold it one more time diagonally the other way so that now we have lines dividing our paper into 8 equal parts. Once I have that, I'm going to make one cut on one of the diagonal lines. The next step is that I will write my initials, my first letter of my first name, my middle name, and my last name lightly, and then I'm going to go around it to create a block or bubble letter, just like we did the covers of our sketchbooks. So I have a block or a bubble letter. Once I do that, I'm going to make it really dark. This is going to help me transfer it to the other side. I transfer it by folding it over and then pressing hard with something like a marker on top. You have to be really patient when doing this. It might take a couple tries, and you might actually need to switch your pencil to a softer pencil. So you're going to need to experiment, take your time, and be patient. That's why if you start with a thinner piece of paper than our sketchbook paper, it might work better. To transfer that quarter you finished to the next quarter, you're going to do the same thing. Darken your letters, make sure they're nice and dark. Fold it over to the next quarter and rub on the back with your marker. Again, be patient, make sure you're covering the whole thing. Might take a couple of tries. Once you have done that, you're going to outline it, and then you're going to turn that half on top of the next half. Again, when I've completed half of my square, I'm folding that on top of the other half to transfer. It's always important to keep the graphite or pencil on the top and your blank piece of paper on the bottom. You do need to go slow. It would be a shame to rip your paper at this point, so take your time and be patient. Once you can see it enough, you're going to redraw those lines darker just so you can really see them. You'll notice in a radial balanced design that some of your letters will be upside down and some will be backwards and some will be upside down and backwards. Once you're done, if you feel like you have too much negative space, you can go back and add shapes or lines around your name. Make sure you transfer them to both sides. When you're done with that, you're going to add color. You can use colored pencils, crayons, markers. The one thing I like best about colored pencils and crayons is that you can blend them. So instead of each letter being all one solid color, you can blend one color into the other color. If you're patient and you take your time, you can make it smooth and paint-like when it's finished. Be sure when you color one letter in one part of your design a color to match that with all of the other letters that are the same. That way your design stays radial. If I were to color them different colors, it would no longer be radial balanced.
Hola, it is I, Detective Dali. Come with me and see if we can discover the types of balance in each of these famous artworks. Did you guess which famous artwork was radial balance? Which one was symmetrical balance? And which one was asymmetrical balance?